I have the privilege of hanging out with Jonathan Hallman for a few minutes today here. You're in the USA Track and Field studios, so welcome back to Atlanta. You are a former Atlanta resident, right?
Metro Atlanta, yeah, Ackworth.
Ackworth. So what are you up to lately?
Just school and race walking. That's pretty much my life right now. So lots of training and lots of school. More school than training.
Okay, so you're in college now. So that's a different challenge than high school, obviously, and the intensity of the learning is much higher. And how's that been different from you versus that transition from high school?
It wasn't that big of a difference, I thought. Certainly the classes were harder and about the same amount of students actually than in my high school. So it wasn't too big of a difference. The workload was more in college, obviously. But yeah, it's been a fun transition, fun experience. So I'm finishing up my second year, finishing up my associates right now.
How did you adjust to the academic load? Because it's always a challenge when high school is high school. It's very interesting. It can be challenging, but college is much more challenging, and with that challenge, you're still tapping into the same glycogen load that you would as you're out there running. So how did you adjust? How did you make adjustments personally?
There's been a lot of adjustments, and I think it's both positively and negatively. Obviously, I can't put 100% of my time into training, and I have to put about 100% of my time into academics too, because I want to succeed in both. But the adjustment, just moving from high school to college, I had to adjust time management was a huge thing.
Right.
I think it is for all college students. But just being able to get time from, I'm increasing my distance because I moved from 10K to 20K. So increasing my distance workouts and having the time for school with that. So it's just a time management, balancing everything. Also putting more energy into counting calories, carbs, and sugars, and also protein, just to find out my nutrition. It needs to be 100% for school and athletics, and a lot of people haven't been able to do that. But yeah, just watching everything I do pretty frequently, and just balancing everything. That was a big thing. That was a big adjustment there.
Now, you talk about balance, and balance is really critical in being successful. But outside the track, outside the academics, where's the balance there? What are you doing as a young 20-year-old? I mean, 20-year-olds go out and they socialize, they party, they go out and chase women or whatever they do. But what have you done outside competing and academics?
Well, what you mentioned there is not what I do, actually. What I pretty much do, time alone with God is what I do. I am an outspoken Christian. A lot of people realize that when they first meet me. So I'll read some of God's Word and I'll play the guitar, just write some songs if I felt led to do that. I'll lead Bible studies and praise and worship at the town that I live in, Liberty. So I have a lot of fun that way, but socializing with friends, I'll just this past week actually I walked around town with one of my best friends, and I haven't seen him. Well, actually, I haven't hung out with him in a while. But yeah, so I'll hang out with friends. Well, I won't say rarely, but somewhat frequently, and just spend alone time. Because other than alone time, alone with myself at home, I'm just at school. So that, or just out training, and training gets a lot of the stress away from school. As a lot of runners would say, it gets stress off of you, and you just can spend time alone with yourself and think about your life, pretty much.
No, that's pretty good. You talk about that because it's always interesting when you talk to people and say, well, who are you outside athletics? Who are you outside? What is your personal statement? What do people think about you? So, you're a young Christian, outspoken young man. You have some musical inclinations there. So we all have to have balance. There's something that we all like. Every superhero has kryptonite. That's what I always say. Every superhero. So what's next for 2014 for you? What are you shooting for?
My main goal actually is to make the 2014 World Cup of race walking to go to Taichung, China. That'll be an interesting experience. So hopefully I'll make that. I just have to get underneath a certain time standard and also to get top 5 in the trials race in March. It'll be March 30 in New Jersey. So a bit of a long drive there, but I'm used to that. So that's my main goal for 2014, and hopefully my training will go well and I'll be injury free and know my body more. That's one transition I've been doing right now, is knowing my nutrition, body chemistry. That's a huge part of athletics, and I know a lot of people just don't take that seriously. At least high school and college students or college athletes, they just don't see the importance of it, and anything can go wrong, and if one thing's going wrong in your nutrition, it can be a big effect on your race and performance.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Like I said, I love the concept of you being a student of your own discipline and not just taking the feedback from the coach, because that's obviously important, but the real critical mass is really understanding you, because at the end of the day, when you're out there competing, it's just you. And if you don't have the proper fuel in the tank, if you know that you don't have the proper mental preparation as well as the physical preparation, the likelihood of you being successful is challenged or diminished. So, no, I love that about you. That's, in talking to a lot of young people, they don't necessarily understand the whole concepts of training, and there's always something. And as a coach for myself, I'm always learning. Because I always say, anytime that I coach an athlete, it takes me about a good year to understand them as people and their fluctuations, their strengths or weaknesses, and and then making plans that support their strengths and their weaknesses. So 2014, you're trying for the World Cup. What do we expect today? What's the goal today?
Today, actually, is just go out there, see how I feel, and if I make that standard, that's fine. I would love that. Obviously, that would be a goal of mine. But right now, just to get a PB, personal best, and just see how I feel in the race, and take after the race, just study it and find out at 10K, how did I feel? Did I feel good? Could I have gone faster? Or is it, well, I was really hurting then, something was going wrong. And if something did go wrong after the race, do I look into it? Okay, was it my mental state? Did I physically not prepare for it, which I think I have physically prepared for this race? Or was it nutrition? I think I've had a very well balanced nutrition leading up to this race. So more than anything, it will be the mental state that'll get me today. But I'm staying focused and just focused on my goal, and to bring it down every kilometer or so. Just see how I feel, and if I get the standard, that's great. If I don't, then oh well. It's a learning experience. As you said before, it's learning about the athletes and everything. You do need to learn more about yourself, physically, mentally, everything really. So yeah, it's a good advice that you have. Learning from everybody. But yeah, today is just go out, have fun. Find out how I do. I'll find out hopefully in 1:32 or less. But if not, if it takes me an hour 35, hour 36, that's fine. That would actually be the Olympic trial qualifying standard. So
136.
Yeah, 136 is, and so I'd be happy with that. But anything under 140 would be a PB. So to me right now, that's incredibly slow. But we'll see. I need to have small sections, knocking down my PB slowly. It's a long time to do it, but maybe this will be a breakthrough race. We'll see.
Well, I'm looking for you to set the record, especially here in Georgia at our championships. And so 136 is the magic number, but the magic bullet is 132. So I guess I'll start chanting 132. 132. So I'll chant that and make sure that you get there. Jonathan, thank you very much for spending a little time with us today and giving us a little insight on the race walk. And one last word. What do you want to leave the next generation? How are you going to get athletes like yourself to start participating in the race walk?
I'm even trying that right now in my local town. I'm trying to, not even athletes, I'm just going up to everybody and asking them about race walking, introducing them into it if they don't know it already. But next generation, I know that next generation can be a huge breakthrough in United States race walking. And I'm really hoping that's going to be it. Hopefully I can lead through my example in my small town and the community surrounding me. Maybe people will be, I'll influence them and they'll get into race walking, and hopefully I'll be able to talk to elementary schools and get them to be interested in it, because everybody knows elementary school kids, they love something weird, and race walking is weird, but anyway, yeah, it's hopefully the next generation will be great. Just talking to the athletes, encouraging them, that's a big thing, and supporting them. That's probably the biggest thing right there.
Right,
is supporting
absolutely.
the athletes. And if we don't support it, then how can we have a next generation?
You're absolutely right. Good words. Talk to you later.
Thank you.